Hey guys, in this episode I'm going to show you how to make a game over widget. So when you get caught, like in a horror game, that your player dies and it puts it on the screen. It's going to be fun, guys. We'll see you in a minute. Alright guys, this was requested by one of my Discord members that is creating a horror game, and they were asking me how to make it to where, like, when an enemy gets to you, like catches you in a horror game, that you know, it puts like a game over on the screen, and then, you know, like you restart or whatever. So I'm gonna show you how to do this, and just to try to set the mode, I don't really do horror games, but to try to set the mode, I'm gonna change like the sky spear here, just to like make it look a little, like, you know, darker. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. That's fine. How's that look in game? Yeah, that's good. Okay, all right, so the first thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to, in order to be able to even get a character to move, is we're going to need a nav mesh. So let's go up here to the top, and I don't know why. I'll make sure we don't have one already in the world, or recast there, but we can get rid of that. It's fine for now. We'll just drag one, go up here to the plus icon, hit that, and go over here to volumes and just add this nav mesh bounds volume here. And then we are going to want to go to the details panel, and let's just make this like 30 so it covers the whole world. So now anywhere in the green, you know, they can move. Okay, all right, so what we'll do is maybe we'll, I'm on 5.7 here, and I use the combat variant to go ahead and give us like somebody, like an enemy already made, so, you know, save some time. So if you do that, you can already have you an enemy, but if you have one already in the game, this will work just fine too. But for me, I'm going to content, variant, combat, blueprints, and I'm going to grab this combat character here, and I'm just going to put him in the world, and then we'll just like rotate him around a little bit. So he's like pointing this way. Okay, so now you can see down there, he'll see the character when he starts. All right, and from this point here, we want to open this character, and this is where we're going to be doing most of our logic at. And just open it up here, and these characters in 5.7, they already come with a few things like already pre-made on here. So all we need is the event begin play, which is what we have right here. And what we have connected into here, we have a life bar and max XP. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. We can just, you know, pull out and do it right here. So just off of event begin play, just pull out here, and we're going to search for AI move to. And from there, where it says pawn, just pull out of that, and we just want to get a reference to self. So just type in self, and you'll see that get a reference to self. And then the target actor, we want it to be the player character, which is get player character. And we'll have this set to where, you know, that the radius of 5 is fine. All right, so on success, what we're going to want to do is first, I always like to put like a little small delay there, just, you know, so everything has time to tick together and work correctly. You have no idea how many times this node right here saved me from errors. All right, and then off that completed pin there, we want to create widget. All right, and now that we have, now we're to this point, now we need to actually create the widget. So it's not going to compile because we don't have anything here. So just go down here to your content drawer, and there's already a UI folder in this, so I'm just going to create it here, and just right click, go down to user interface, widget blueprint, user widget, and we'll just name this WBP underscore game over. All right, and we can open that up, and what we're looking for here is we need a canvas panel. So just grab it and drag it in, and then from there we just need a text block. Let's make this really simple. We're going to take it, and for the anchors, we want to set it directly in the middle. Go ahead and get our alignment to 0.5, so it's in the center. And then from here we can just you know, put the position X and Y there to 0. As far as size goes, let's do something like 500 on the X and say like 300 on the Y, and that'll be fine. Let's change the color to red, considering it's like game over, and then press OK on that. As far as the text box goes, we'll just go ahead and write in all caps game over. And then if we scroll down here a little bit further, you'll see this here, this where you align it to center there. And then for the font, there's not really a whole lot of default options. We'll just leave it on that. But let's set the size to something like 64. Yeah, that works. And then just, we'll go ahead and pull this up here and then go back up to our anchors, and let's anchor this back to the center again. Okay, oh, I did not mean to do that. So go back, that stays at 500. All right, and that should be good, really. All right, so just save that. We're done with that. Go back to our combat character here in class. Just get our WBP game over we just made. And then for the owning player, we want to get our player controller, if I can spell, player controller, get player controller. All right, and then for our return value, let's promote this to a variable. I always like to have a reference to everything that I do. So we'll just name this WBP game over ref. Okay, and then from there, just pull off here and add to viewport. All right, okay, and we should compile it just fine. All right, now we want this to show on our screen, okay, but we don't want it just to show and our player to be able to run around. So there's a couple things, and if you need to make it different, then that's fine. This will work. I don't know if you got a respawn system or not, but if you don't, I'm just going to show you how to just reopen the level and start over. But we don't want our character, because if we do it right now, then our character will be just like, he'll come to him and he can still like move around. As you can see, he's following up here. When he gets to us, there it is, game over, and like we can still run, and we don't really want that. And we can disable the input or whatever, but you know, you're just kind of stuck here. It doesn't do anything else. So let's make this a little bit more, you know, legit. Okay, so from this point here, what I want to do is I want to get my player character. All right, and I want to cast to the BP third person character, which is our character that we are using. And like I said, I always like to promote these to variables just in case I'm going to need them later. To reference them as BP third person character is fine. And then I want to pull off here and I want to set the simulate physics on the mesh. Okay, and make sure, very important, it's the mesh on the BP third person character. Okay, and then we just pull off here, then we simulate, and then right here, just plug this delay in right here. We're going to delay for 3 seconds. And then I already created this because for some reason there's nowhere to copy the actual level name. So I went and got it here. I'll copy it here and show you. But next thing that you're going to do, I'm going to delay for 3 seconds. But the next thing is you're going to want to get this open level by name. Like I said, I'll show you. So off of the completed, just open level by name, and make sure that the level that you're in is the exact level, no spaces, no extra than what you got right here, which you see is this LVL underscore third person with us. And just take that and paste that in there, and everything should be perfectly fine. All right, and now if we go over here and we press play, There might be one more thing that we need to do. I cannot remember. Yes, okay, yeah, so you see how we fell through the floor, and if we wait 3 seconds, you see it starts. So all that's working. The only thing is there's a problem, and we got to go to our character to fix it, and it has something to do with collision. So if you go to your third person, to your blueprints, and then your third person character here, and you go over here on this side here, and you scroll down, actually click on the mesh, and scroll down to your collision settings. Did I pass it up? This is why I always just search for things. Collision, there we go. All right, so right now on this collision here, you'll see it says character mesh. We need to change this to custom, and we want to make sure generate overlap events is on. And where it says collision enabled, it says no physics collision. Well, we are simulating physics, but we don't have physics collision, so he's just falling through the floor. So just click on that and just click this collision enabled query in physics. All right, and compile and save, and that should fix it, buddy. All right, so it comes up to us. When it gets to us, should die. As you can see, waits 3 seconds, and then it opens again. We start over. And that's it. And guys, that's how you do it. That's how you create a game over widget and restart your game. So I hope this helped you guys. This is entirely too dark for me, so I'm gonna brighten her up a little bit. And we'll see you guys next time. Make sure you like and subscribe, and follow the Patreon. We're putting together something right now that's really, really exciting, and trying to turn some game devs, some beginners, into some real game devs, and build a studio with you guys. So yep, like, subscribe, follow along, join the Discord if you got any questions. We got a lot of devs there that'll help you. But yeah guys, it was a lot of fun, and we'll see you in the next one.